Hello and welcome to the War Thunder dev server. In this video I will be giving a preview of the F-5A Freedom Fighter for the Republic of China fighter line. The aircraft is at tier 6, placed directly after the pair of F-104 starfighters, and is currently slated to have a BR of 10.7 upon release, although this is subject to change. The F-5A is powered by a pair of afterburning General Electric J85 jet engines, which currently output 1,430 kilograms of force when using the afterburner. Although I have seen multiple forum users report that these values are actually lower than that of the actual output of these engines, so I would hope that this would be corrected prior to release. However, with the current levels of thrust outputted by these engines, the F-5A can be powered to just over Mach 1 at sea level and Mach 1.2 at an altitude of 25,000 feet. Overall, the aircraft did feel fairly nimble, although I didn't really have much time to fly it, so this is just an early observation on my part. When it comes to landing the aircraft, it does possess a drag chute to assist in slowing down. This, combined with the rather light weight of the aircraft, means that it can come to a stop quite quickly after touching down, which was quite useful when I decided to land the aircraft on the Cargo Port Ground Forces map. The F-5A does have a fairly competitive selection of weapons, which will make it capable for both air-to-air combat or close air support. Firstly, let's take a look at the Dumbfire Payloads. For bombs, you have 4 types available, ranging between 250-pound Mark 81s, 750-pound M117s, 1,000-pound Mark 83s, and 2,000-pound Mark 84. The bombs can be mounted on 5 pylons in a variety of combinations, both with and without other weapon types being carried on the aircraft. It is also worth noting that there is no ballistic computer assistance for these bombs, although I would say that they are still easy enough to use. So whether or not you wish to use the aircraft for general bombing or close air support, you will surely have a decent selection to pick from. The other Dumbfire payload on the F-5 are Mighty Mouse unguided rockets, of which up to 4 pods can be carried, with 19 individual rockets per pod. These are of course some of the more common rocket types in game, and are notably used on pretty much every single American helicopter in the game. As with the bombs, the payload options do allow for these to be carried alongside other weapon types to allow for more diverse weapon layouts, and these also lack any ballistic computer assistance, but then again you should have enough of them that hitting something should not be too much of an issue. So now moving over from your dumbfire weapons to your guided weaponry. Firstly, the AGM-12B Bullpup. This is a key-guided air-to-ground missile, and up to 4 of these can be carried, or 2 of them if you wish to retain your air-to-air missiles. The Bullpup has a firing range of around 5 miles or 8 kilometers, and carries a warhead containing 63.5 kilograms of explosive filler. Now, while I personally don't use these type of missiles often, I did relatively quickly get the hang of how to use them after setting up the control bindings for the missile. When comparing to previous Chinese tech tree aircraft, it can be seen that at most there was only ever 2 bullpups on a single aircraft, so now being able to carry 4 of them is a fair upgrade for Chinese players. The second guided weapon available for the F-5A is the AIM-9P Sidewinder. I was quite surprised that the AIM-9B was not available as an earlier modification, but in its current iteration, the AIM-9P is the only air-to-air missile on the aircraft and is a Tier 4 modification. This missile has previously been seen in-game on the Japanese F-1, although in this case only 2 of them can be carried on the wing end pylons. The 9P has a 20G overload with a flight range of just over 11 miles or around 18 kilometers. This version is also notable for seemingly being less affected by flares. After some quick research, I found that this might be due to it having infrared countermeasure system, although this was pretty fast research, so if I am incorrect on that, do be sure to let me know. Nonetheless though, these missiles are easily on par with the current IR missiles available for other nations, and will provide some decent air-to-air capability for the F-5A. The final weapon on the F-5A are of course its guns, a pair of M39A2 20mm cannons mounted in the nose of the aircraft. These have the availability to use 5 different ammunition belt types once the Tier 1 belts modification has been acquired. Each gun has 280 rounds of ammunition with a fire rate of 1,700 rounds per minute, which should give you around 10 seconds of trigger time. Some final notes on the aircraft: the F-5A does feature a detailed cockpit model, definitely a big pro for any sim players that are eyeing this aircraft up. And then on a slightly less positive note, the F-5 currently does not have any flares, something that can of course be a lifesaver in high BR air realistic battles when facing some of the more formidable infrared air-to-air missiles. Now I think that more or less covers everything for the F-5A Freedom Fighter. If I did miss anything, do drop a comment and I will try to give a reasonable answer. Anyways though, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.